author of Parenting for the Digital Age. Bill Ratner joins me now with a few pointers, and it's just in time for the Christmas gift-giving season. No doubt technology gifts are big this time of year, but technology is fraught with danger. It's harder and harder to keep track of what our kids are doing.
Quite so, Patrick. Picture, if you will, a mom or a dad with a teenage kid who, when they were little, was just the most loving, squishy, wonderful little creature in the world. But today, they're silent with their head bent over their device. And that's who this book is for. Because it's important, especially this time of year when the gifts get passed out, including the iPads and the Microsoft pads and the smartphones, that parents figure out a way to keep it in the sock drawer for a few minutes.
You know, talking to teenagers has never been easy, but it's gotten a lot harder with the advent of technology, but they've gotten a lot easier to communicate with each other, which has created its own set of dangers. I mean, we all know about sexting and the kinds of communication that go on. How did you decide to write this book, and what kind of answers do you have for parents today?
The answer, well, I'll answer your first question. I was Flint on the cartoon G.I. Joe. All right, Lady J, you better get your battle gear on. And that was a lot of fun, until we all realized that when we were told at a voiceover session to buy stock in Hasbro, we thought, gee, this is interesting. And then it turned out to be the largest rollout of toys and the biggest rollout of television advertising in the history of TV. And we were responsible for a massive increase in kid consumerism. So I looked at my kids, and I looked at kids that we babysat for in the neighborhood and traded babysitting, and I said, let's do an experiment on Saturday nights, 6 to midnight, digital free, no Game Boy, no Wii, no smartphones, no nothing. And for 12.5 years, my daughter and her friends had an incredible time. So that's what prompted this book, is a way of telling people how we did it with our babysitting co-op, how my dad did it as an ad guy who told me, kid, TV does not have your interest at heart. And so I learned that at a young age and wanted to pass it on.
Well, and it's interesting. It's sort of a conundrum. We use technology to be more connected, but it seems like often you're sitting at a dinner table and you're far less connected with the people you're there with.
It's so tempting for a parent with a squirmy kid or a loud kid or an angry kid to hand him the digital phone, hand her the iPad, and it's just fine, except if it happens all the time, that kid is essentially digitally gone for good.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's something to struggle with, and this is a great tool for parents, and I assume that it's available in all the usual places.
All the usual places, Target, Amazon, wherever great books are sold.
Parenting for the Digital Age by Bill Ratner, and you know, next time you come to town, we're going to have to talk about your career as a voiceover artist, because I know you've done a lot of interesting things in that field.
Eye on the Desert, starring this handsome man right here.
Now you can come back anytime. That's a perennial invitation. Thanks, Bill, very much.
Bet, Patrick.
Pick up the book.